Hello and welcome back to TIM-DND. It's been a while since my last video for a number of reasons, which I won't get into right now. But today I'm going to talk about my Dungeons and Dragons room and more specifically what I have planned for the window in that room. I'm going to discuss why I've got plans for the window in the first place, why I do the room the way I've done it, and yeah, let's get into it. So I'm lucky enough to have a room of my own to play Dungeons and Dragons and other role-playing games in. Um, I can decorate that as I wish, so I have done, and I've, as much as possible, just headed towards the sort of medieval tavern type vibe, albeit with a Dungeons and Dragons style table in the middle, and some coloured lighting in order to set mood and scene depending on what's happening in the game. And of course, I've got some shelves at the back here where I put storage for my miniatures and shelves specifically for books and the larger miniatures, which are harder to put in cases and what have you. So the idea is to provide that ambience to bring players into the game, but it's not so much that you're trying to literally forget that you're in the real world. Because at the end of the day, you've got pieces of paper with character details on, you've got dice, and you're playing a game. So the idea isn't to totally forget all of that, it's to just remove some of the distractions of everyday life and provide a certain ambience. Um, the main problem I've had with the room so far, after spending quite a large amount of money decorating it to the style I wanted and hand building shelving and all the rest that I've done in here, is that I've then got a very modern UPVC window frame with double glazing, which overlooks a road with cars on it and just generally removes all of that ambience. Now, up to now, I've got over that by pulling the blind down to try and hide the window, and that's a perfectly okay solution. The issue I have with that is it makes the room very dark. It also makes the room quite warm, and my daughter, for one, can't deal with the dark, so half the time she lifts the blind, and then all of what we've just achieved has been removed. So I personally want to be able to do something to hide that window while we play, which will also allow lighting. My plan for that is to create a stained glass effect window to place over the top of the window, allowing the light to come through that stained glass look, and allow the feeling of the world we've created inside the room to continue. My wife, quite rightly, doesn't want me to put a permanent fixture on the window which will be seen from outside, and ruin the effect of the outside of the house for all the other areas of the house. That's completely fair enough. So my current plan is to make this window insert something that can be removed once we've finished playing the game. All of this makes things far more complicated than they would have been had I just been able to fix some sort of window frame over the top of the window. But such is life, and that's what I'm planning to do. Because it needed to be lightweight, rather than glass, I've gone for clear PVC sheets, which and because I'm quite cheap, I've spent a little bit of money on some glass paints and some of the black line that you can put on top of a window to make like a stained glass effect. And I've made these sorts of things. This one was a little bit of a fun thing, using my TIM-DND logo, which I did just for shits and giggles. And then the other ones are all going to be Dungeons and Dragon-esque sort of scenes, rolling hills, castles, that sort of thing. I've done all of these. Oh, excuse me. I made some frames for these. Oh, I'm in a frame. Using small pieces of wood just to create the frame, and slightly smaller pieces of wood to create the inset where the PVC will fit. 6 of those A3 sheets of the PVC. Use some milliput just to hold them all into the frame on the front. Black milliput, which adds to the whole idea of like a lead ceiling to the glass. And my next step is to place these on a removable windowsill cover, which will hold the frame of these sheets. Now, I'm not technologically advanced enough in order to be able to do a step-by-step guide to making this. It would slow down the making in the first place, and it would definitely be way beyond what I'm capable of doing with the little camera I've got on my laptop for these videos. So what I'm going to do is do this video where I've talked about the plans and roughly what I've achieved. And then I'll do a part 2 to this video where I'll show you the finished product, which hopefully having made this video will look reasonably enough for me to show you on camera. But for now, let's cut away and I'll just show you the window as it is at the moment and why I want to cover the horrible thing up. So this is the window as is. As you can see, it's a plain plastic frame window, not even a divided window in any way, shape or form. It's just one huge piece of glass with a modern hinge and handle to it. And as you can see, the view outside is just off the back of a housing estate with reminders that I really need to tackle the garden. So, as I say, not very conducive to what I want to achieve with this room. So what I want to do is have enough of a windowsill on the frame that I put on there so that I can still have the quite attractive swimming dragon going through the windowsill, and can still open the window behind the insert that I'm putting so that the room doesn't get too hot, hopefully. And yeah, that's currently the plan. I've constructed already the wooden frame that's going to go on the windowsill, so I will cut away again and let you see how that looks so far. Okay, so this is the frame as it stands. It's 2 pieces of fairly thick wood attached to a windowsill, which slots over the top of the previous windowsill. So it literally slides over the top, covers the edges and the front. Doesn't quite go up to the top of the window. Oh, I think you can just about see there. The idea being that it was going to be quite difficult to slide the whole thing in if it was right up to the top of the window frame. God, this camera footage is very jerky. I do apologise. And also because it's very difficult to get. It was very difficult for me to source sheets of perspex which were going to cover the area I needed it to without some sort of border or having to cut them down. So didn't want to do that. I've literally planned it around the 6 pieces of perspex. The edges here, I will put some wood shelving board here, which will connect to here and the base, just to give some sort of border. Although it won't go quite up to the wall because I don't want it to be damaging the wall every time I put it back in and out. And that's kind of that. I'll stain this the same colour as my shelving, as is at the moment, and the like wood cladding that I've put up to make it look like a medieval tavern wall. Just so you're aware, these cracks I've made into the wall intentionally. They're not. It's not my house falling down. And yeah, I think. I mean, as you can see, the stained glass does hide that, but does let the light come through. So I think that will do the trick. Hiding all of that out there, allowing me to open the window to let a breeze come through over the top of the glass and through the blind. And I think that'll achieve my goal. Hopefully. Okay, I'll shoot back to me and we'll finish this video. So that's it from me for today. I better stop talking about it and start getting on with it. So I'll come back with part 2 to this video as soon as I get all of this finished, and we'll see how well it went. Hopefully this gives you a few ideas if you've got your own room and you want to come up with this sort of thing. Realistically, I could have done a step-by-step guide, but it's all going to be dependent entirely on what you're trying to achieve around the space you've got. So measurements and things like that are kind of a bit of a wishy-washy thing, which is only going to be applicable to my window. No point giving you all of that stuff. It's this video is literally there for ideas for you, and ways I've managed to work around the restrictions I have with how I can leave things up or not in my D&D room. Until next time, guys, hope you keep having fun playing games, and I will catch you later.